So that's the end of the interview. Have you got any questions for me, Mike? No, thanks. That's great. I think I know everything. Thank you. When you go for an interview, not only will you be asked a load of questions, but you'll also get a chance to ask questions. If you ask the right questions in the right way, then you'll set yourself apart from other candidates and increase your chance of getting the role. So today I'm going to share with you 4 fantastic questions that you could ask at the end of the interview and explain to you why they're so good. Just before I get into that, I wanted to ask you a quick favor. If you could subscribe to this channel, it will help us grow and bring you more content about interviews, careers, all that sort of thing. Thank you. Right, so a couple of things you need to do before your interview even begins. When you're doing your prep for your interview, grab a notebook. We're going to write down a few things that are going to be really useful when you're in the room. Jot down a few keywords that are important from this role, things that you've picked out from the job specification, things that you might have seen on the company website. Just make a list of them so that you can potentially use them through your answers. You're also going to write down the questions you're going to ask them at the end of the interview or whenever you get the chance. More on those in a second. Once you get in the interview and you sit down, get your notebook out, get a pen and jot down the name of the people that are interviewing you if you can't remember them. Using people's first names helps make a conversation more personalized. It brings down barriers and defenses and will just be a more enjoyable experience. So if you can, use people's first name. You're also going to want to take notes as you go, even when they're asking you questions. If things come up, if you think of little things, then just make a note in the notebook. It will show that you're serious. It will show that you're really participating in this in the same way as you would take notes in a meeting or something else that you care about and that you're paying attention to. Now, at some point in the interview, they're going to give you a chance to ask questions. Usually it happens at the end, once they've got their questions out of the way. I used to quite like doing it back and forth with people as we went. So it might be different, but let's assume it's at the end, and that's when they're giving you the chance to ask them some questions. Here are my 4 favorite questions for candidates to ask the employer. Number 1, why do top performers leave? I honestly think this is the best possible question that you can ask in your interview. By asking this question, you're doing a few things. Firstly, you're immediately putting yourself into the I am a top performer mindset of the people interviewing you. Secondly, you're making it clear that you're interested in the experience of this business for top performers only. You're also giving them something to think about. This is not an easy question to answer. So making them think, showing that you've done that prep, that should impress them. It's only 5 words, but it's a very, very effective question. Secondly, what are the company goals for this year and the vision for the next 5 years? This is also a great question to ask. It instantly tells them that you're thinking about long-term success. Companies love people who are interested in the long-term success, mainly because it costs companies a lot of money to hire you, to train you, and to manage you. So they want you to be with the business for a long time so that they can get a better return on their investment with you. So by talking about the future, you are singing their song. As for this year's goals and the information you're going to get back from them, this will actually tell you quite a lot about the business as well. If the interviewers are able to give you an answer quickly and concisely and something that is coherent and makes sense, then it tells you that this is probably a business that's fairly well ran. People know the goals, people know the vision, the objectives, and that's something you can buy into and get excited about. If they give you some sort of woolly answer about the founder might want to do this, or this year we might concentrate on these things, but we're not really sure, then that tells you something too. That tells you that maybe this isn't quite as exciting as perhaps you previously thought. You want to jump on board a company that is going somewhere, that has a clear direction, a clear idea of where it's heading. The better the answer they give you at this point, the more excited you can be. The third best question you can ask in your interview is, what are the best and the worst parts about the culture at this company? No company is perfect. They all have pros and cons, just like people. If you're seriously considering working at this company, then you want to know what you're getting into. Asking this question shows them that you care about the environment that you're going to work in and you're bothered. You're not just here for a job because you need a paycheck. You're actually looking to pick the correct company and the correct opportunity for you. It also gives you some valuable information. These guys, if they're the owner, that's a bit different, but if they're employees, then they will give you an answer that will help shape your view of what this organization is all about. And you can then have a look at yourself and say, do I think this is right for me? Do I want to jump on board this train? Am I excited? Is this a good fit? Do the answers they're giving me now echo and marry with what I saw on the website and what I see in the job ads. A final question. Do you think I'm a good fit for this opportunity? And do you have any other questions or any concerns from me based on the interview today and my CV? This is a great question to finish your time of asking questions, because it's your last opportunity, really. It's once you're done here, once the interview's over and you're at home, you won't get a chance to address anything else. So if you want this job, you're going to want to do everything you can to make sure you've covered all the bases. And at this point, the best thing that you can do is ask them if there's anything else that they want to know. You might also get some feedback, which will be really useful. You might also get a sense of the timeline and what's happening next, which again will be useful. But I always sort of felt like you want to leave everything in the room. You want to make sure you've done everything you possibly can. And this is a bit of a catch-all question at the end to make sure that you've achieved that, to make sure you've done everything you feel you could do. So those are the best 4 questions that I've ever been asked when interviewing candidates. And I think they're really, really powerful. If I was going for an interview, those are the questions that I would use. And those are the things that I would want to know. I hope you found that useful. I hope you've got an interview and you're going to use those questions. If you do, put something in the comments below. Let us know how you get on. But good luck. You're going to smash it. Don't forget to breathe. See you on the next one.